What is an LLC for real estate investors? Have you heard about LLCs? Have some people told you you need one and then some other people tell you that you don't need one? Yeah, I know it's confusing. I hear all of this crazy information. I am going to clear this up for you step by step with some real information so you are no longer confused. Let's go.
Noel. Yeah, she can fix that. If you gotta get it done, no, you need to do it better. Well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
So let's talk about real estate investor first before we get into the LLC, because you got to kind of understand what real estate investors do, what they're doing, and how the LLC fits into that. So as a real estate investor, I am constantly looking for properties that I can make profits from. That is the bottom line to the entire thing. We want to make money off of real estate, and we don't necessarily care about the real estate itself. You know, I've bought properties in some of the worst neighborhoods because I can make money, and I've passed on properties that I thought were absolutely beautiful because I just couldn't make a lot of money off of it. It's more important about how much money you can make off the property, more so than where the property is or what it looks like. It really is all about the numbers when it comes to real estate. So when you become a real estate investor and you start thinking like a real estate investor, you're really just looking for opportunities and looking for properties that you can turn into money. Whether you're going to fix and flip the property for a lump sum of cash, you know, buy it low, renovate it, and then sell it for a higher number and cash out. Or you may fix it up and put a tenant in it and start cash flowing that property each month. Or you may just buy the property and sell it to someone else. Again, the bottom line is making profits. So you get that. Let's talk about number two. So now that you know how real estate investors think, now let's get into the LLC, which stands for Limited Liability Company. LLC is a business structure. You register your business with the Secretary of State and you will pick an entity type. LLC is one of the entity types that you can pick. So when you create a company, you establish a company, you may say, my company is named ABC Properties. Now, you have the option to make it a limited liability company, and then that would be an LLC. Or you could make this ABC Properties Incorporated, which would make it a corporation. And then you could decide whether you wanted it to be a C Corp or an S Corp. Now, let me back up a second and tell you something. Noel is not an attorney or a tax advisor. So here's my disclaimer, because I have tons of lawyers and they make me say this. Anything that I am telling you is completely my opinion. This does not consider investment, tax, or legal advice. I am just telling you my opinions from my experience. Thank you very much. So now that we have gotten that out of the way, I am telling you, I cannot tell you which entity you need to choose, but I will tell you that when I first got started in real estate, I did establish an LLC, and I've done that for many, many years with the businesses that I have gotten. And I'm going to tell you why. But just know you do not have to create an LLC in order to be a real estate investor. So let's talk about the benefits of an LLC for a real estate investor. One of the reasons why I established an LLC was because my coach advised me that way. It was what he had done and it is what I did. But there were some major benefits, and the biggest one was that it released me from a lot of the liability. It protected my personal assets. This is why most real estate investors go with an LLC, because you are trying to create another entity that is not you, that will separate and protect your assets. The company is its own entity. It has its own liabilities, and it is its own responsibility. So if the LLC does something, you as the person that owns the LLC is not responsible per se, unless you're negligent or a few other things. But for the most part, if you buy a property and you put it in the LLC's name, it belongs to the LLC. And if something happened, it was a fire and someone died in that fire, they could not sue you personally for that. It protects you and creates a separation between you, the person that owns it, and the business entity itself. So it is an amazing tool for an investor. It is an amazing tool for a person that wants to have a business. You want that protection. You want that separation. And more importantly, you want all the benefits that come with it. Let me tell you about the money, because that's the important part. That's why you're watching. I know. Another benefit of the LLC and why you want it as a real estate investor, again, is the funding. Once you create a real company, you can create business credit and get business funding in that business's name. This unlocks hundreds of thousands of dollars for a business in a matter of months. I have students that are starting their business credit, and in, again, a matter of months, they have hundreds of thousands of dollars in business funding that they can use for their real estate. They can get real estate, they can put letters out, they can buy ads, they can do what they need to for their business. Additionally, when they go out in the world and they're finding clients, they are now credible because they are a business and they have business cards and they're an actual company and they're not just Noel Randall saying, I'm gonna buy your home for cash. You know, I'm Empire Real Estate. It looks differently to people. So there's two major benefits that I just shared with you right there. One is business funding and another is credibility. So that's two more benefits right there. LLCs provide so many. And then last but not least, and this is so important to me, and this is what I'm finding right now, privacy. One of the things that LLCs and getting an LLC for a real estate investor will do for you, that it has done for me, is create privacy. As I've gotten more famous and put myself out there and I tell you guys my business a little bit more, people will start to look you up and try to find you. They will try to come to your homes. They will try to visit your properties. I can tell you some crazy stuff that has happened. But because my properties are in LLCs and I have not told you guys any of my LLCs names and you'd never guess some of them, people are not able to just go and find and go to my properties and my homes and do some of the things that they do. So it will create privacy because the entity owns that real estate, and unless people know the names of your entities, and again, you can get as many LLCs as you want, you have privacy. This is why rich people do it. Additionally, an LLC can put the property in a trust and other things. So you can have your real estate that's in a trust that's owned by an LLC. Now that's a little bit more advanced. That's some real rich stuff I'm telling y'all right now. I'm getting into that. I'm putting my properties in trust that are owned by LLC. So y'all ain't never gonna find my stuff. Sorry, I'll tell you a little bit of my business, but I don't need y'all finding where I live. Okay, and as a bonus, because I just have to share everything. Y'all know, I have to tell you everything. So even if sometimes I'm like, okay, that's enough, I gotta give you one more. So let me tell you one last thing that's super important about real estate for investors and LLCs. Do not put your primary residence per se, especially if you're getting started, in your LLC's name. Most likely, this is not going to be the best move for you because you are going to want those tax exemptions like the homestead exemption. You're going to want the protections that come to having a primary residence where people can't just foreclose on you if you get behind on the payments. A lot of times when a LLC or an investor owns a property, we have given up some of those protections for the homestead, meaning the property that you live in. So I would caution you against putting your primary residence in your LLC when you first get started. It's probably not the move that you want to make. You probably want to do something a little bit differently. You can talk to your attorney or your tax advisor. You may want to put it in a trust, but it's probably not what you want to do in the beginning. But just warning you, because you don't want to lose that interest tax write-off. You don't want to lose those homestead exemptions, and you don't want to lose the protection of them not foreclosing on that property in case you got behind on the payments. Your primary residence offers a little bit more protections, but if you put it in a business's name, then you're going to lose that protection. So just be careful there. Okay, guys, I have given you everything per usual, plus I have a little bit more. So I have a book. I have a complete book that I have written. I tried to make this as affordable as possible. So guess what I'm doing? I made it absolutely free. I have an entire book, super thick, full of information. I've been working on this book for months, in fact, probably years, and I'm giving it away absolutely free because I'm already rich. Go to noelsfreebook.com to check it out. Again, absolutely free, full of all information, super affordable, making sure that everybody has all of the resources, all of the tools, and all of the knowledge that they need to be successful. This is Noel, to your success.